Hey people, quick important feedback video after the big brake job videos. This is the final one because it's not final yet. Now, to adjust the cable further, the cable itself on the handbrake happens, you got to pull some trims out and it's down under here, right? But don't worry about that yet because this is what I want to show you. You saw how I adjusted it. You might have had your doubts. I didn't check anything. I dropped the car on the ground. I backed it out. What I've done now, remember what we said about water? So I've used water to wash around around behind all the wheels and brakes. Like I said, you'll see it running out milky sort of color, right? Because it's a bit, you know, that. Anyway, point is it's all clean now. I'm in the vehicle and I want to show you some feedback. Let's see where the handbrake ended up after that. Oh, that's nice and tight, isn't it? See? Because you shouldn't need to adjust the cable. You might even need to back it off if people have been lazy and over adjusted that. I always say back off the cable, adjust it properly down at the shoes, and then if you need to, get the cable right. And on an older car, you should only need to adjust this once, and then if you need adjustment, it's down there, right? So let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually quite tight on 4 clicks. So this is against my rules, way tighter than it needs to be. But you know what? Because we're using the vehicle mainly on road this winter, and I want my handbrake to work. I rarely pull the handbrake up, people. If I'm flat ground, I put it in park and that's it. The handbrake's for hills. It's for emergency stops. I want it to work like that. And at the moment, actually, it looks really good. But 1, 2, see, look, 1, 2, 3, 4 is quite a pull. 4 clicks. It's hard to even get to the 5th click. Ideally, you probably want 6 clicks. What's the Toyota manual say? Because I don't know. It probably gives a specification. We've got our own specs from doing this for years. Now, I'm going to go drive the vehicle and tell you what I'm going to do as far as bedding brakes in goes. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do about brake application and bedding in brakes. Now, this is what happens. People put new brakes in and they get all excited about testing them. I want to go and jam my brakes on. And all you're going to do is make them hot. And you don't necessarily want to do that, but it's not a big deal. So what you want to do is what I say you always do when you're driving. Now, you need to use brakes when you need to use brakes, but my aim of the game is to avoid using brakes or minimal brakes. Maybe that's why they last longer than most people's as well. Like this roundabout, I haven't even used my brakes. I've let the vehicle slow down a little bit before it. I'm gently on the gas. This is how you drive a vehicle. You get better efficiency brakes, better for your suspension, your bushes and everything. Anyway, another video. So what am I going to do about bedding them in? Well, firstly, I want to tell you my first brake application as I drove out and I just touched the brakes, it had a nice amount of bite, definitely better than the previous brakes. So those Bendix we had in there, that was some trial test compound, as suspected, bit low on the friction material, so it might have been good for dust, noise and lasting, but in my opinion, not that Bendix are watching and they give anything about the feedback, because I did ask them, you know, because the person I know that worked there, he left, whatever, better, bigger things, right? And I said, well, do you want to know about this or not? And they sort of went, well, oh yeah, but then they don't really, is the truth of the matter. So anyway, that's what happened with that test compound. Nothing, that was a waste of time. A few free sets of brake pads, but I'm just lightly applying the brakes while I'm driving when I know I'm not going to stop, okay, because this car's doing about 30-40 k's an hour, so opportunity. I'm back up to 50 now. I'm going to turn where they are and just turn around and head back. But my point is, my first application, I've noticed a higher amount of friction compared to, you know, the trial one. So back to the genuine Toyota, beautiful. And at the end of the day, it'll probably get better because the whole surface of the pad is not touching the rotor yet. As much as the pads are flat, the rotors are flat. Things are never 100%, and that's what bedding is. It takes time, and there might only be half the pad contacting the rotor, if you know what I mean, or less, which means if you ask a lot of your brakes before they're bedded in, then you're just going to get hot brakes, and it could affect, depending on what pads and all that, it could affect the long performance of those pads and cause them to do things they wouldn't normally do. So basically, take it easy on your brakes is what I'm saying. Okay, so that's about it, really. The handbrake's awesome. It's going to take some time to really have some feedback for you, but I just wanted to say, don't go out racing around, jam the brakes on, oh yeah, I'm going to do it for you. Oh yeah, they're good or they're no good. Now's not the time to judge your brakes. Now's the time to drive softly and lightly. Might get some burning smells from them anyway. Just take it easy as you can. And ideally try not to use them, and try not to use them right before you're going to come to a stop. So if you come up to traffic lights, plan ahead. When you get that orange light, start applying the brakes, get things happening, pull up a couple of meters before the line like you're meant to, so you can see the line over your bonnet, and just slowly edge forward, so you're spreading the heat around the rotor slowly rather than concentrating it in one spot. And of course, the sooner you plan ahead, the more gentle you can stop anyway. And what I do, I don't just sit on the brakes the whole time up to the lights. I pump the brakes. So I'll be on the brakes, and then I'll be off the brake, on the brake again. You know what I mean? I'm like that. So I'm always considerate. I suppose it's not hard to do. It's a natural thing you learn. But anyway, that's a bit of feedback for now. You're not really going to get much feedback for a bit of time. So stay tuned. I reckon in about maybe a few weeks, or maybe in a month or 2 or 3, we'll have a video or two and let you know. Just like that headlight kit worked awesome. Well, bada bing, bada boom. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the bell and catch you on the next one. See ya. Probably actually a good opportunity to have a look and show you what I mean, because clearly visible. See what I'm talking about? This is what bedding in's all about. You can see the pad is only making contact with the outside approximately 2/3 of the disc rotor. Let's have a look at the others. Okay, the front, which does most of your braking on the outer, would appear to be basically, we'll call it 100% contact, not 100% bed in, but you know what I mean, you get the drift. While we're at it, left hand front looking pretty good as well. Beautiful. Let's have a look at the left hand rear. Left hand rear, same thing, about 2/3, pretty normal. After a bit of driving, that will sort of fill its way down, and that's what I'm saying, take it easy. And another little side note, the KO2s with rubber on them in the 65 series ride so much more comfortable than those old 265/70s. I believe the bigger tyres even give you a harder ride. That probably makes sense. You can talk about that in the comments if you want, but I'm out of here. See ya. Parked up. See what I mean? I never put the handbrake on anyway. Beautiful. Good to know it'll be working. If you're going to be off-road in dirt and dust, rest assured, if you've got adjusted up that tight, it's going to wear down faster anyway. So I'd back it off a little bit from there. Bada bing, bada boom. Thanks for listening. Hope you liked it. Catch ya. One other tip while we're at it. These $20 Macta. Right, there they are. eBay, 20 bucks, mate. Some of the best, cheapest bonnet stripes I've ever seen. I'll let you know over the years how long they last, but 20 bucks, you can't go wrong. I think the genuine ones are about 300 bucks each or something. It's ridiculous. And you know, some of those other brands, not that crush hot either. I'm pretty happy with these for 20 bucks.